So in the last video, I was showing you guys how to take a math equation and put it into or type it into a Word document. And this time what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to take this function that I want and graph it. And I'm going to use a program called Geogebra, which is very much so like Desmos. It has a few extra bells and whistles. It's also free. It runs on your internet. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to graph this function, and then I'm going to take my graph and put it into my Word document so everything's all in one place. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take this function right here, this piecewise defined function, and I'm going to graph it in GeoGebra. Now, with most functions, it's pretty easy. You just type in the function and it'll graph it. The reason this one's a little bit more difficult is because it is a piecewise defined function, so it's only going to be that 3/2 of 1 minus x squared for 0 to 1, and then it's 0 everywhere else. And so that's what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to come over here and I'm going to just talk about how I'm going to graph it for those specific things. So I'm going to type in if, and if you notice, it's going to try to help me out. It says the condition first, a comma, and then what the answer is. So the condition here is from 0 is less than or equal to x, less than or equal to 1, and I want my answer to come out as 3/2, parentheses, 1 minus x, and I'm going to do the caret here squared. Now, here's the thing with this one. So with this, depending on what device you're using, it might actually pop up with a little keyboard down at the bottom to help you type everything in. I know with tablets and other things, it will actually run those pretty nicely, and it does help you type in some of these more math equations. And all I'm going to do is hit enter. Now, if you notice, it comes over here and it names it f. Now, especially with piecewise defined functions, I want them all to kind of look the same. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come over here and hit these 3 dots and go to settings. And I don't really want it to show its label because as I do each part, it's going to label it differently. And so the other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to change its color. I'll make it blue. I like blue. I might make it thicker if I want to. I can make it more opaque or a little bit more translucent. It's really just kind of up to you. But so there's the first part of my graph. And then the other thing I want to look at is with the rest of this function, it's going to be 0 everywhere else. Well, if you think about most calculators, it's not going to understand what everywhere else is. And so what I'm going to think about here is from 0 to 1, it's this curve that I've already got. And so what's going to happen less than 0? So if x is less than 0, it's 0. All right, I'm going to graph that. Notice again, it calls it G. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to click on it, and I'm going to go to settings, and I want to hide the label, make it blue. Notice I always like this recent thing because it just makes sure I use the exact same color. I'm going to make it the same thickness, which was 7. And I'm going to do one more because I need the other side of the graph because I need anything bigger than 1. So if x is greater than 1, it's also going to be 0. So now that I've got that done, I'm going to click on it again one more time, hide the label, make it blue, make it 7. All right. So now that I've got that done, I'm ready to start trying to take my picture and put it in Microsoft Word. I'm going to zoom in a little bit just so I have a better view of what this function looks like because it's actually kind of a small function, just in here around 1.5 and 1. So now that I've got that done, what I can do is I can hide these equations by clicking on this little arrow. And so all I'm looking at right now is the graph. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to change my Internet Explorer window to being something of a more reasonable size for this exact picture. So I can kind of move this around a little bit so it's in here a little bit better. So just I'm looking at these numbers to get a good idea. And so I think this is about a good size. I don't want to make it too small, but I also don't want to make it too big. So I'm not showing anything extra. I've got exactly what I need on the screen, and now I'm ready to copy and paste. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on these 3 bars up here called the main menu, and I'm going to go to export image. Now, it's going to give me some options, and I'll kind of show you the options here. It says copy to clipboard or download. If you copy to clipboard, that's literally copy and pasting. If you download, it will download to your computer and save it as an image. What I'm going to do is I'm going to copy to the clipboard, and I might have to change my view window just a little bit so I can actually see where it says that. So I'm going to hit copy to clipboard, and then I'm just going to hit paste. And there it is. Now, notice it comes up really big. It automatically tries to fill your window, and so you can resize it to whatever fits your needs. All right, hope that helps. Good luck to you. Let me know if you have any questions.